The things I didn't think he'd be picky about, he was extremely picky on.
I don't think that happens very often. She's gonna have a baby on the day of your wedding and can't really make your cupcakes, so.
How many long grass stems I wanted. I knew exactly how many rosebuds I wanted. I had planned everything, and she told me just to stop and put it away. So at that point, I didn't quite know what to expect. And she actually put carnations in my bridesmaids' bouquets, which, for anybody who knows me, I can't stand carnations. I don't like carnations. I think they are hideous. Well, I guess we met online to start. We were on an online dating site, and I actually messaged him first. And we started chatting for a while, back and forth. Our first date was a walk, grabbed a coffee, and then we took a walk along the waterfront.
I knew there was a connection there right away.
Yeah. Where I say I wasn't so sure. He thinks I was smitten right away, but I agreed to give him a second date. And at that point, I thought I'd keep him around for a bit. We had gone out ring shopping earlier in the winter, and he knew what I liked. He knew some of my favorites. He definitely knew the style. And I knew that he had put a deposit on a ring. I didn't know which one. He was a nervous wreck for about 2-3 days, so I knew the ring was in the house. Valentine's Day was a Saturday. I thought he was going to propose on the Friday, because I had previously told him that Valentine's Day was really cliche, don't propose on Valentine's Day. So he had made all these plans. I don't even know the extent, but he had planned this day on Saturday, and I knew he was taking me skating. He had said something about somebody that we knew coming with us because they wanted to practice taking pictures. So, I mean, you weren't subtle. You're gonna propose on some picturesque walk, skating, winter adventure. And then that morning we had gotten
3 feet of snow.
Tons of snow. So he came over and spent the entire day shoveling my driveway. And he made dinner. It was a good dinner. He was on his phone all day. Like, now I know, trying to do some sort of backup plan because the ice was covered in snow. We couldn't get out of our street. You ended up just proposing with candlelight dinner at home, and he just sweaty from shoveling, and he just proposed over dinner, and I said yes.
my wedding bands, as I say, wedding bands, I received for free.
We both love to cook. I know that sounds really weird, we're connecting wedding bands with cooking, but they go together, I promise. There was a display booth from Kitchen Charm Canada there, and there wasn't even anybody manning the booth. It was literally a box with ballots saying enter to win a draw for a free honeymoon. We were like, well, we like free stuff. So we got the call saying we had put our name in amongst with a bunch of other people. Would we like to come to a cooking demonstration, get free food, and see their
amazing pots and pans?
I said, oh, might as well, let's give it a go. And just for showing up, they gave us this voucher for a jewelry company to get 2 free wedding bands. And so we thought, well, I actually wasn't too sure that they were going to be nice or that we were going to like them. Like, they're free, how nice are they going to be? But we went on the site afterwards, and Jordan really loved them. They were all tungsten, titanium. The idea was to get a his and a hers, but knowing that I liked sparkly, dainty, girly ones, that was definitely not my style. So what we ended up doing is we bought 2 identical rings, one that was his size, and one for if his fingers got fat for later on.
One a size bigger for when my hands get bigger.
So we got him a fat ring, which was great, because then he always has the same ring, it just is a different size.
Yeah.
Sorts of things we wanted people that we loved and cherished there. So wanting to make sure that regardless of the cost or where it was, first and foremost, we had the right people there. So we knew that it was going to be a larger ceremony. I have a lot of family and friends from out of town. We have a lot of connections here in the community. So we knew it wasn't going to be a small affair. And then wanting to include a bunch of different people in a variety of different ways and just kind of honoring those relationships are important to us. I had seen some ideas where, as the bride's walking down the aisle with the bridesmaids, all her girlfriends walk down with her and then sit down in the congregation. I was playing around with that. I wanted to include all my girlfriends. There were so many of them that had kind of a special role in my life. I personally knew right off the bat that I wanted to wear fun color shoes. I definitely wanted to wear red because I like red shoes. And that's actually where the color red came into the whole planning, because originally we were just going to do like the purple color of the girls' dresses, but then once I decided I wanted to wear red shoes, that's where the red roses and everything else came into play, because it all kind of tied it together. So then I knew I was going to wear red shoes, and I thought, okay, well then all my bridesmaids could wear red shoes, and that it just kind of came to mind then, well, everybody can wear red shoes. Even though they're not standing up with me, they're symbolically joining me to support me and us, because some of your female friends and cousins wear red shoes as well. And so when we sent out invitations, we had a small little insert that was a specific red shoe invitation for. Because I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I'd gone around to get quotes from about different florists, and they were all thousands of dollars for what I wanted. And I just wasn't going to spend the money on it. That wasn't as important to me as some of the other stuff. And I knew I wanted just red roses, so I didn't think it'd all be that hard to buy a bouquet and tie a bow around it and call it done, as long as they were red and looked nice. So we were just going to buy them. But I'm on a Facebook group for Kingston wedding area kind of conversation, and somebody had posted that they were looking to do their own flowers and were looking for some advice on where other people had gone to get their flowers done or buy the bouquets. And I responded just saying, I'm doing it at Costco. It was the cheapest thing that I could find. And one of the florists in town here responded to my post urging me not to go to Costco, that as much as it was cheaper, that she could offer better service and better quality for marginally more of a price, but not terribly much, and give them a chance and go for the small businesses in town instead of the big box store. So I appreciated her plea, shall I say. She was a good advocate for herself and her business. It was Michelle from Chartreuse Flower Works on Division Street. and she was funky. Like she was very bubbly. We walked in, she gave us a big hello greeting. There was so much to look at her shop. I knew how many long grass stems I wanted. I knew exactly how many rosebuds I wanted. I had planned everything, and she told me just to stop and put it away. So at that point I didn't quite know what to expect, and she just wanted me to explain the vision, and then she just kind of ran with it, and she actually put carnations in my bridesmaids' bouquets, which for anybody who knows me, I can't stand carnations. I don't like carnations. I think they are hideous, and like he knows never to buy me a bouquet with carnations, and I'll throw the carnations out. I just don't like them. But she urged me to give her a chance. She had a bunch of carnations in the back, and she bunched them together, and they looked beautiful and save a lot of money on being cheap and stuff, because they're a cheaper flower. So she was able to kind of really work within our budget, still do our kind of catch our vision of what we wanted, and we had these beautiful bouquets, and she even managed to put carnations in it, and I still loved them. Yeah, the invitations were made by my mom. I went on Pinterest and just found a bunch of ideas, and next thing I know, I got a package of invitations done, ready. I didn't even have to think about them.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, we printed them all out at home. She's got like scrapbooking stuff, so she cut and diced and pasted and ribboned and everything like that, and found all the different punches and stuff that I wanted, and just made them at home, made the address labels at home, ordered some special paper. I can't even tell you what site, from a stationery site. She took care of it all, but she did all of them start to finish. So
we went to the Italia Club, and as soon as we walked in, we knew that was the place. My friends have already gotten married there, and they all said it was the best food they've ever eaten.
We hadn't put the deposit down. We were penciled in the book, and then the wedding show happened, and they gave away these vouchers at the wedding show for a free, what was it, a midnight, we got our midnight buffet for free, which is a $400 or $500 value. We customized our menu. They had 12 or so preset menus, and we liked bits and pieces of all of them, so they let us throw together our own menu. Everybody we talked to said that the food was amazing. And we went on the tour, I was just impressed because they told us all their food is locally grown and bought, and they make everything from scratch. So they let us bring in outside food for our cake, What we really liked, one vendor that really loved their cupcakes. They did an excellent job promoting their bakery services, and they had some unique different flavors, so we thought we would go with them. We were ready, set to book with them, and we did. A couple months went by, and then they sent us an email, or they called us to let us know that their baker actually ended up pregnant and would be delivering in and around the time of our wedding, and they could no longer keep our contract. So that was a little disappointing because we were really excited for their services. So luckily we had a family friend who was quite skilled at baking, and we basically just gave her our order and she replicated it. And
they were just as
they were
if not better,
amazing.
and so it worked out well.
Yeah.
They did send us a card and send us a gift card as well. For,
just as a little apology.
It was just bad timing. I don't think that happens very often, that she's going to have a baby on the day of your wedding and can't really make your cupcakes, so it's understandable.
For hair and makeup, I went to Serenity Spa in Brockton, Kingston. They were at the wedding show. They had a display there. They were doing demonstrations for airbrushing makeup, which I didn't know people did in real life. I thought that was just a TV, movie, Hollywood sort of rich people thing. I didn't know weddings did that. But it looked pretty cool, so I liked that. They had full service, everything that I wanted. They had the capacity. I had 5 bridesmaids plus my mom and a mother-in-law and potentially my flower girl, though she ended up not getting her hair done. But I had what I thought to be a larger group of people, and I wanted them to kind of all get it done at the same time. I liked that at Serenity I could get hair and makeup done. I didn't have to have 2 different venues to go to. I went sometime in July, so about 2 months before the wedding, to get a trial done. They were fabulous, and the trial we got partway through and I didn't like it. I didn't like the feel of it. What I thought I wanted didn't feel good on my head. It was too loose. I felt like it was going to fall out. I didn't feel like it was as clean cut as I wanted it to be. Didn't have enough volume. So he was really good, the hairdresser there, just taking my time to basically redo it and play around with it and giving me a really good understanding of where I wanted my veil and that kind of stuff. So I was really impressed with him. The makeup artist, I showed her some pictures again. She liked it. She gave me some recommendations for how she would want to change it to meet my skin tones and colors, so she really knew what she was talking about. The airbrush makeup was really nice and very waterproof, which was important. Not only because I thought I was going to cry, but because, again, we got stuck in the downpour of the rains.
Went with Unveiled. They seemed to be middle of the pack with the pricing, and she knew them from her church in Kingston, so it was sweet. She knew them on a personal level kind of thing. So we met with Katie first, and she came over to the house and we talked for a bit.
I think what I really liked about them was, first and foremost, they weren't trying to sell us a product, they were selling us a service. So a lot of the photographers that we talked to had these preset packages that came with 20 by, I don't even know, a million size wrapped canvas and keychains and magnets, and I wasn't interested in all the gimmicks and all the different things attached to it. I wanted just quality photography, and then I could add to it what I wanted. But I didn't want to be stuck with a whole stack of 8x10s that I'd never used. I wanted somebody that could really do a good documentary style, that could do really good with capturing some of those candid moments, and somebody who had some experience with landscape photography, because both of us really like the outdoors and wanted some of those really good outdoorsy landscape type shots. So that was all important to us. We found that in Unveiled. We didn't tell them where we wanted to take our engagement or our formal pictures. We kind of more described the setting or the type of feel that we wanted, and we were comfortable enough with them that Katie kind of said, well, are you okay with us just throwing some ideas out there and going with it? And we said, yeah, and it was perfect. I'm not one of those girls that had an idea of what I wanted. To be honest, I didn't care. If it fit and I liked it, it was good to go. So I ended up going to the Kingston pop-up wedding dress show. But it's a traveling trunk show, and it was like Black Friday and Bridezilla's put together. It was insane. It was amazing, but insane. I went with my aunt and my mom, and they are meticulous shoppers. They had a game plan, and they were ready to go, and we got there maybe 45 minutes early, and we were nowhere close to the front of the lineup to get into this thing. It was in a conference center, hotel kind of banquet room. And basically, you show up there, you have to take off your shoes, because you can't have any outside shoes. You have to take off your jackets. You're not allowed to wear makeup. You're not allowed to have liquids. You could tell who the brides are and who knew what they were doing, because all the brides were wearing like tights and tank tops, because they were ready to throw on dresses over top of their clothes. And basically the doors, well, the lady came out, she was hilarious. She came out, who was running the event. I gave some guidelines like no pushing, screaming, hair pulling, that kind of thing, and she was quite funny actually. One of her rules was you can't, I don't know how she said, but you can't break down in tears if you're not the size you thought you were. Wedding dress sizes are different than street clothes sizes. She had this whole spiel that was funny. So we're ready to go and the doors open and it was like Black Friday mob coming in, and there's just rows and rows of dresses and they're all organized by size. And then on the other side there was all these change rooms, and there wasn't as many change rooms as there were people. And so you just stand back and you look at this, and there's lace and tulle and taffeta flying. People are grabbing piles of dresses. The change rooms are all booked, and people are just changing in the middle of the aisle, basically first come, first serve, trying to get a dress. And they're all crazy. They're all like 75 to 90% off. So my mom and my aunt and I running, I had very strict instructions from my aunt. I had to get a change room, and they were booking it to my dress size, and they both came running at me with piles of dresses. They just took as many as they could carry. And so I'm there, I'm trying them on, yes, no, maybe so, as quickly as I can go. And then they had a system where you weren't allowed to return the dresses back to the original rack that they came on. You had to return them to like a sorting rack, and then staff would take them and make sure they were hanging on the racks properly. So my mom went back and forth to the original racks, my aunt went back and forth to the returning rack, and they just kept bringing dresses and dresses and dresses, and this happened for about 2 hours running back and forth. My aunt started to go to other change rooms. She was like scouting out on a mission. She knew who else had my dress size and was like negotiating, you know, if you're not going to take it, bring it over to change room number whatever where I was. And she had a whole like underground network of dress exchanges. And at the end of the day, I came down to 2 that I really liked, and they were both in my price range. I said, you know what, I'm happy with both of them. I just need to choose the one that I like the best and call it quits. So I found my dress there.